Picture this. You've worked your entire life, paid your mortgage, and finally retired. Your home is your security, your legacy, everything you've built. But right now, a quiet storm is brewing across the UK, and by 2026, up to 2 million pensioners could be forced out of the homes they've lived in for decades. This isn't scaremongering, this is policy, economics, and reality colliding at once. Here are 10 reasons why. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Council tax chaos. Most people don't realize how dramatically council tax has risen and how little pension income has kept pace. In parts of England, council tax bills have jumped over 25% in just 3 years. For pensioners on fixed incomes, that's not a manageable increase. It's a financial cliff edge. Miss enough payments and local authorities can pursue court orders. Some already have. When your weekly pension doesn't stretch to cover basic local levies, keeping the lights on and keeping the house becomes a genuine monthly choice. Number 9. Energy bill burden. The energy crisis didn't end. It evolved. Millions of older homeowners are sitting in aging, poorly insulated properties that cost a fortune to heat. With energy prices still well above pre-2021 levels, pensioners are burning through savings just to stay warm. The winter fuel payment, which helped around 11 million people, has already been means-tested for many. That change alone removed hundreds of pounds from households that depended on it. When heating a home costs more than a mortgage payment once did, something has to give. Number 8. The benefit trap. Here's one that doesn't get discussed enough. Many pensioners sit just above the pension credit threshold, meaning they don't qualify for extra support, but they also can't afford the rising costs of homeownership. They earn too much to get help and too little to manage comfortably. This benefit trap leaves hundreds of thousands in no man's land. They're not struggling visibly enough to qualify for intervention, but they're quietly draining savings, deferring maintenance, and sliding slowly toward a crisis point. And most won't ask for help until it's too late. Number 7. Mortgage time bomb. Not every pensioner owns their home outright. Around 200,000 homeowners over 65 are still carrying mortgage debt. And a significant portion are on tracker or variable rate deals that surged when interest rates rose sharply. Some took out interest-only mortgages in the 1990s, with the assumption property values would cover repayment. That plan is unraveling. Lenders are now issuing repossession warnings to borrowers in their 70s who simply cannot refinance. This is the quietest crisis in the housing market, and it's reaching its peak right now. Number 6. Care cost crisis. This one's particularly brutal. Under current rules, if a pensioner needs residential care, their home can be assessed as an asset and used to fund that care. The government's promised cap on care costs has been delayed. Again. That means pensioners who need support are still facing bills of £100,000 or more, forcing families to sell the family home to foot those costs. It's not a case of if this affects someone you know. Statistically, it's when. The care funding gap is widening every single year and homes are filling it. Number 5. Inflation. Eroding savings? Inflation may have eased from its 2022 peak, but the damage is already done. For pensioners relying on savings to supplement their state pension, the purchasing power of those funds has dropped dramatically. What felt like a comfortable cushion in 2019 barely covers a year's worth of unexpected costs today. A single boiler replacement, a leaking roof, or hospital stay can wipe out years of careful saving. Without that buffer, maintaining a home, let alone staying in one, becomes financially untenable far sooner than most people planned for. Number 4. Equity release. Backlash. Equity release schemes were sold to millions of pensioners as a lifeline. Access the value locked in your home, stay in it forever, and enjoy retirement. The reality is far messier. Interest compounds silently, and many pensioners, or their families, are discovering that the debt has ballooned to exceed the property's value. Some are trapped in homes they can't sell, can't remortgage, and can't escape from without significant financial loss. Regulatory complaints about equity release have surged, and those locked into older, less regulated products have almost no recourse whatsoever. Number 3. Inheritance tax pressure. April 2026 brings a significant shift in inheritance tax rules. Pension pots will become subject to inheritance tax for the first time, a change that will force some families to liquidate assets, including property, to meet HMRC demands. For pensioners who plan to pass on their home through a pension-linked strategy, the entire plan now needs rebuilding. Financial advisors are already overwhelmed with inquiries. Those without advice, typically the least wealthy, face the sharpest shock. The 2026 deadline is not theoretical. It is locked in, it is coming, and most people are not prepared. Number 2. Social housing collapse. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many pensioners who lose their homes have nowhere to go. Social housing waiting lists in England now exceed 1.3 million households. Sheltered accommodation is oversubscribed. Private renting on a state pension is nearly impossible in most parts of the country. Average rents have outpaced pension increases by a significant margin every year for the past decade. The safety net that was supposed to catch vulnerable older people is full. The system isn't coping now. In 2026, when pressure intensifies from multiple directions at once, it will be overwhelmed entirely. Number 1. The policy silence. And here's what makes all of this worse. Nobody is talking about it loudly enough. There is no dedicated cross-government strategy to protect older homeowners from this convergence of pressures. Council tax reform has stalled. Care funding reform has been delayed. Housing supply targets are being missed. Energy transition costs are falling disproportionately on older, inefficient homes. Meanwhile, the 2026 pension and inheritance rule changes will hit simultaneously. No single factor will cause 2 million pensioners to lose their homes. But all 10 arriving together just might. So guys, this isn't about panic. It's about preparation. The pensioners most at risk are those who don't know. These pressures are converging and who assume the government will step in before it's too late. 2026 is closer than it feels. If you're a pensioner, a family member, or a carer, the time to understand this is now, not when the letters start arriving. Drop a comment below. Do you think enough is being done to protect older homeowners in the UK? Let's talk about it.